I lost the medical college admission. If I want them to laugh, they are laughing. If they want to cry, they are
They will
crying,
cry.
and I am totally like a king. You name anyone. Girish Karnad, Alkazi came. Theatre is unreal. Theatre is false. They're buying the tickets of 400 rupees, 500 rupees. Not having infrastructure can be your strength.
So today we have with us playwright, actor, director, Padma Shri awardee, Shri Satish Alekar ji, who's been into theatre for more than 45 years. Welcome Satish ji to India Theatre Guide. I am Bhavikk Shah और इंडिया थिएटर गाइड परिवार के ओर से आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है। सतीश जी, इंडिया थिएटर गाइड पिछले 20 सालों से डिजिटल माध्यम से थिएटर और इंडियन रंगभूमि नाट्य मंच को लोगों तक पहुंचाने का काम कर रही है और हमारा यही प्रयास रहा है कि लोगों तक थिएटर और थिएटर की इंफॉर्मेशन लेके जाए और आज हमारा जो ये संवाद है उसी श्रृंखला का एक भाग है। सो आज हम मिल रहे हैं। आपका जो करंट रनिंग प्ले है ठकेशी संवाद, जो आपने लॉकडाउन के दरमियान उसकी रचना की थी। सो हम ये जानना चाहेंगे और हमारे श्रोतागण, हमारे दर्शक भी ये जानना चाहेंगे कि इस प्ले की क्या रूपरेखा है और इसकी क्या विशेषता है।
It is very difficult for me to narrate my own play and say something about it because mostly I write instinctively, and there is no linear progression of any story in my plays because my plays they have got a unique structure over the years, and I am writing for Marathi theatre for last more than 55 years now
55 years.
because my previous play Mahanirvan, which was written in 74, will be completing 50 years next
Yes.
month on 22nd of November.
Wow.
And during last 55 years, I have not written more than 10, 12 plays, maybe around 15 plays together, along with short plays. I don't write continuously, but I write for theater and I write for the theater space. Uh, Difference between me and other playwrights are I'm not that way related to literature per se. I I use theater as a theater space, not as a part of the literature, in the sense because I'm from the field of science. Then I was teaching biochemistry at the
Yes.
medical college for more than uh, 26 years before switching on to Pune University to become professor of performing arts. That's a different way. So coming back to your question about Takishi Samvad, conversation with Taki, or the English translation which has been done of this play and already published by Seagull Books, Calcutta. And my translator has given the title, Shanta Gokhale. She has given the title in English of this play is Conversations with Taki.
Taki.
Taki is a traditional Marathi doll.
Yes.
It's usually a kind of a two-dimensional doll. So it is known as Taki. So Takeshi Samwad is a kind of a maybe a monologue, but the basic premise of that play is after 2014, since our political scenario has drastically changed till today because of the incoming of the Bharatiya Janata Party in the power. So I thought that the basic parameter of the liberal democratic hemisphere within our country is gradually shrinking day by day.
Okay.
And our colorful fabric of our culture, colorful fabric of our languages, etc., gradually becoming coming down to in black and white terms.
Okay.
You are against us or you are for us. So that is one thing. And the secondly is there are four people have been assassinated during these 10 years, you'll find Dabholkar, uh, the well-known activist from Satara.
Yes.
And then the other uh, three people from one is from Kolhapur and two are from Karnataka. Until today, there is no closure of these cases. The
Hmm.
cases are still going on. There is no person who made accountable for which who committed this heinous crime and for what.
Hmm.
So these are the basic premise by which my play revolves about it. It doesn't deal directly with the situation.
Hmm.
It doesn't mention directly with the what's happening now, but it indirectly comments about the terror. It indirectly comments about the people that either you are with us or against us. If you are against us, you are not only not belong to us or not belong to our ideology, but you are termed as an urban Nakshal. So
Okay.
that troubles me, and out of which that this kind of a monologue kind of a play has emerged, where only
Evolve.
two characters,
Okay.
maybe the main protagonist who is approaching 75 is talking to himself or is talking with the doll Thucky,
Turkey.
and everything is closed outside,
Hmm.
and he's day by day he's shrinking. He's also shrinking his health wise, and ultimately he dies in the COVID.
Okay.
That is the basic
Basic
premises, and
premise.
then it is a obliquely take off on the current how the present regime deals with the history.
Hmm.
What kind of history? The manipulative history, whether history is real or unreal, we don't know.
Right.
So that is a various takeoff from the. I can't explain to it. You have to come and see the play.
Yes,
But that is
definitely.
this is the basic
Basics.
premise.
Yes, yes. Okay. So, what has been the audience response? How has the audience accepted the play? In the last 2022, this play was performed for the first time.
I don't know how to gauge the audience likeness or audience hatred, because if you ask me whether the play is successful, what is the success? If the play is we are not doing this play commercially. We are
Commercially.
doing in a small performing areas
Yes.
where the audience doesn't go beyond 200 or
Right.
300. But if you find that particular space of the audience is full as a success, then all the plays performances so far are sold out.
That's great.
If you think that if it is a success, but whether the basic premise from the of the play has touched the audience, whether it is they become starting introspection,
Hmm.
are they becoming a little melancholy and analyzing the play in that spirit, that I don't know. That you have to ask to the audience. But
Okay.
whatever the audience reaction I got is very, very encouraging.
Great. I think most of your plays, if you look at all the plays that you have written, 10, 12 plays, have been inspired from what's happening in the society
Yeah.
and what's going around. And that's how probably your
But that's what the theater is,
is
because theater
true.
is regarded as a kind of a mirror of the society.
Society.
And as
Yes.
Habib Tanvir, whose centenary we are
Yes. Celebrate.
celebrating this
Yes.
year, I think, he used to say that in his interview said that every play is a political play in a one way or other.
Right.
In a small in its own terms,
Hmm.
every play deals with against something,
Something.
against the present regime, against something thought, against some ideology, against some characters,
Right.
against some issues.
Yes.
So every play is a kind of a political play, and I consider that the play is a kind of a mirror to the
Mirror. Right.
society.
Uh, most of your plays have been the ones that you have written as playwrights have been directed by you, except for a couple of, and this was one of them, which is being directed by Abhishek Barve. So, why did you choose not to direct this play and ask Abhishek to direct it?
See, I don't have any kind of a positive answer for it. It depends upon the that situation about the play to play.
Okay,
For example, I usually write my own plays and I direct my own plays. Sometimes I act in it,
right.
because I started writing at very young age.
Yes.
When I was studying in the Ferguson College, I think three or four of my short plays have already been published in a very avant-garde magazine known as
Right.
Satya Katha,
Yes.
edited by Shripu Bhagwat in
Hmm.
those days. So that was a kind of I received retrospectively knowledge that something getting published in that journal, that periodical, is very prestigious,
Obviously.
because I'm not a student of the literature.
Yes.
So that's the one thing. Secondly, when we established our own group, Theatre Academy Pune,
Yes.
in 1974,
Four.
after the controversy of the play Ghasharam
Gashiram
Kotwal,
Kotwal.
we broke away from the earlier group. There's a well-known history,
Yes. PTA.
Progressive Dramatic Association
Hmm.
(PDA), which was
PA.
established by Bhavikk. He was our guru. He brought us
The
in
theater
theatre.
industry.
Then we quarreled with him. We broke away with him and established this new group, Theatre Academy, Pune. And then we started doing plays, Ghasharam Kotwal. Then there is no other playwright besides me in that group. So naturally, the responsibility is on me to write something for the group.
Right.
And it happens that time that I written a play, and it was Satyajit Dubey picked it up, and he invited me to join the playwright workshop which he was conducting in 1972 in the Film Institute.
Okay.
So I went, GP Deshpande went, and then Mahesh Alkuncha was also part of it. So we all started our writing simultaneously in that workshop, and then the journey of
Yes.
each other
Yes.
during the last 50 years or so. So naturally, I started directing my own plays. But my second play, Mahapur, was directed by Mohan Gokhale.
Yes. It was not
Mohan
directed
Gokhale
by.
also acted in several Gujarati plays, Hindi
Yes.
plays, and
Ha. Marathi films, Hindi films.
Hindi films
Yes. Lot
also.
of. Yes.
Ketan Mehta's film,
Yeah.
he was there. So he wanted to act in my first play.
Hmm.
Since I'm the young, I was to cast myself in the play. It was my play, so he was very angry with me. But I promised him that you direct my next play. So I given it to him, and he directed that play.
Okay.
Besides that, I used to direct my own plays apart from one or two. One exception is Dusra Samna.
Okay.
Dusra Samna, which was commercially produced by a Bombay Theatre Company, by I forgot the name of the producer, but Vaman Kendre was the director.
Okay.
Vaman Kendre directed that play, and Vikram Gokhale and acted in that play, and we completed more than 200 shows in a span of 2 years.
Wow. That's so
So,
big.
so that was then later on again I started writing myself, and then there is a gap of about 10 years. Then during this pandemic, I wrote a play, and immediately before pandemic, I wrote a play which was directed by Girish Joshi.
Hmm.
The play called Pidijat,
Yes.
which was produced by Maharashtra Culture Center in Pune.
Pune.
And this play, during the pandemic, I written, and since everything was closed, I started reading out to play because I can't sit quiet at home. I usually contacted my friends. They organize some kind of a play reading of my play, and I started reading from one house to another house. That was going on while the pandemic was going on. After the pandemic, nobody was taking that play because I didn't have that group. My group is become more than 50 years old.
Yes.
People have changed. Many of my contemporaries, they are no more.
Right.
Like Mohan Gokhale is no more. Then my music director Anand Modak passed away. My music operator Nandu Pol, he passed away. A person who acted as Ghasharam Kotwal, Ramesh Tilkar, he is no longer there. Many of my actors from my group, they are no
They know
longer
more.
during this period. So I thought that at the age of 75, how can I collect the group together? It's beyond me. Then I picked up my student Anupam Barve.
Yes.
Anupam Barve, he's a dropout from the engineering college. He then did his graduation in theatre from Lalit Kala Kendra, where I was heading as the department. After that, he went to London. He completed a masters in theatre and films, and then he came back after experiencing the theatre and the film media in London, in Europe for 5 years, and now he has freelance, and he is after me after reading this, listening to my play. during the lockdown that, sir, I want to direct this play.
Okay.
I said, then I relented to his pressure
That's
and I
great.
handed over to him. And you know that this is the
Yes, yes.
play he has produced and he has done a wonderful, good job.
Yeah.
And the play is very enthusiastically viewed by the
View.
audience.
True, true. You said that you're already 75,
Yeah, completed
completed
75
75. So that's
this
a big
year.
achievement.
This
Now,
year.
what is that motivates you, drives you to keep doing theater year on year?
Because I feel that the theater is a live art because it is a live actor all the time before the audience and whatever you do on the stage it is immediately picked up by at least one member of the audience, then he immediately reacts and he gives you the reaction.
Right.
That I find is very fascinating. So whatever I thinking, whatever I was written, and if I utter something on the stage, it is immediately picked up by the member of the audience, and he immediately react to it, and the reaction reaches to me, and that is I find is very magic. It is
Yes.
not there in the literature. It is
True.
not there in the films because
Films.
we are not there.
Yes.
But the
This is live.
interaction with the live
Live. Yes.
actors, interacting with the situation happening around you, subverting those situations, tearing apart those situations into a new format,
True.
into unreal world.
Yes.
Because I always feel that the theater is unreal, theater is false, theater is something is implanted.
Mhm.
Even though we are dealing with the what's happening in the
Society.
society, realistic, but I never deal with realistically. My plays are always beyond realism, but
Right.
it deals with the realism.
That's great. So you started your journey around in the year 1972,
See, it
70,
is 67.
67, right?
67.
Now, how did the whole journey start? You were studying science and you were studying in FC College, Ferguson College. So how did that moment come in where you actually switched over from?
I retell it vividly of that experience because I was in the Ferguson College and it so happened that during the 12th standard examination, during that time it is called as the B group examination, pre degree and inter science. I lost the medical college admission.
Oh,
Uh, and because I was involved in the politics, I became a activist of Congress Party because my maternal uncle was contesting the Lok Sabha seat from Pune
okay.
constituency, Pune city constituency. My my mother's younger brother,
Oh,
barrister Vittal Gadgil. So during that time, I deviated from the studies and I lost that. So during that time, any if you lose the medical college seat, if you don't become a doctor or an engineer, that means it's the end of the world for any middle class Brahmin community
true.
in city of Pune in those days. So I was felt very dejected. All my friends they gone to IIT or they joined BC Medical College, etc. Then I used to started going attending the gym to Ferguson College. It is on the base on the midway of the Ferguson College Hill. And while I was walking to the Ferguson College Hill, I can find that the amphitheater nearby used to be a place for the rehearsal of the play. And Bhalaba Kelkar, our chemistry teacher, the Professor Bhalaba Kelkar, he was a chemistry professor
Okay.
and at the at Ferguson College, and he's also a very well-known director.
Yes.
He invented first Vasanta Kanetkar.
Right.
He did Vasanta Kanetkar's first play,
First play.
Prema Tuza Rang Kasa,
Ha.
and also the second play, Vedaचा Gurunath, where Dr. Lagu acted. It is a kind of takeoff from Death of a Salesman. So he directed those play in the 50s, in the
Okay.
late 50s. And he was my chemistry teacher and he was directing a Marathi farce there for the Ganesh festival. And I used to, while coming back from the gym, I started attending the rehearsal because
Okay.
I don't know what to do at home. If I go, I start listening to the taunts from my relatives, etc. So, and then it so happened that the person who was doing the main role, he was offered the cricket captaincy of the Ferguson College.
Oh.
cricket team.
Wow.
So that was the quite prestigious. He went away, left, and then they were. I entered the rehearsal as if they are all waiting for me. And Bhavikk Shah said that, "Come on, why don't you read these things as it
Oh.
is? You are coming and listening to the
Listening to the
dialogues." So I read it and I did that role, and that was the turning point.
turning point. Okay.
That's why that was the magic of the theater affected me. That point I realized that I am on stage, I am uttering the word, and the audience is completely in my behaving in my own terms. If I want them to laugh, they are laughing. If they want to cry, they are
They will
crying,
cry.
and I am totally like a king. And that worked as a magic. And then gradually I realized that the theater could be my field of expression,
Wow.
and my journey started
From
towards that.
there.
And because it is only thanks to Bhavikk Shah,
Bhagwan.
then we fought against him because he is not from for Hashiram Kotwal supporter.
Support.
He
Yes.
even though produced the Hashiram Kotwal play for his company, but he later on disowned.
Yes.
Then we deserted that group.
Right.
That
And
is
then
the-
what was a big success?
but he was a very very nice person to us.
Yeah.
Whether you that's the kind of a liberalism.
Yes.
That's the kind of a liberal attitude which is now missing.
Missing.
We are
Okay.
currently missing.
Yes. Okay. So you have also been a part of NSD as a director. You have been professors at Pune University, and also you have taught students in international colleges in US and all. So what is the difference that you see of in theater happening in India and in the international universities or international cities?
Now, first of all, I want to be clear, I was not part of the NSD per se because I was
Okay.
not the director of the NSD.
Mhm.
I worked on their several committees. I
Okay.
was on their management council. I worked on their academic council. I was once time also vice chancellor, holding the position of vice chancellor, honorary position for
Okay.
some years, etc. But I was teaching. Credit goes to the space scientist Vasantrao Gowarikar.
Yes.
He was vice chancellor at Pune University,
Mhm.
and I was teaching biochemistry at the medical college.
Okay.
And I was asked to apply for the post of professor of performing art at Pune University.
Right.
They have established the Lalit Kala Kendra,
Mhm.
Center for Performing Arts, but they don't have the permanent teacher.
Right.
But they because the government sanction didn't come, and the government sanction came, and they advertised the post. And somebody suggested Gowarikar my name, so I was asked to come and apply. I said I don't have any degree in literature. Then it doesn't matter because we have got that position to select you because you already Sangeet Nata Academy have already etc. So I applied and they selected me, and it was a challenge for me to develop the some department on the campus from the scratch
Right.
without any infrastructure, without any money from the state government. Only the university used to give me the money, and I could create the performing arts center there, which I ran for more than almost 15, 16 years before I retired. And there they re-inducted me as a distinguished professor for almost 8 years. Now I am totally retired from it. So that was the kind of a thing is created because the Sangeet, Nritya and Natak, theater, music and classical dances
Yes.
under one umbrella.
Umbrella.
That was the peculiarity of that. And for the dance and for the music, Gurukul pattern has been incorporated into the university syllabus
Oh,
for the first time
first
in
time.
India.
Okay.
So if your dance and music student used to go to their respective guru's residence, they learn their art, and we used to conduct the examination on the campus
Okay.
without the guru, and we created a new syllabus, etc. And we run it in spite of not having any kind of money, not having any kind of you name anyone who has come there and taught. Alkazi came.
Yes.
Nasir Uddin Shah, you name anyone. B.V. Karant, Girish Karnad, Mahesh Elkunchwar, Vijay Mehta, they are all used to come and
Teach there.
teach my student
Uh-huh.
without any remuneration, without
I
any, just
think
because I carry some kind of a credibility.
yes,
Because
credibility.
before coming to university in 1996, I has completed more than 200,000 shows of our
Yes,
theatre academy with some of my plays, Mahanirvan, Mahapur, and Begum Barve, etc. And you see, look at our students now. You go in any field, you will find our student.
students.
Mukta Barve is our student.
Right.
Anita Date is our student. Then several of our students are
They
there
have been there
for
in
the
the industry.
music, for the dance, also for everywhere. So that's a success. Now I retired, and my one of my earlier student, Professor Praveen Bhole, he is managing the department.
Wow.
On my students are everywhere. They are in UPSC. Some of them they're abroad. Some they learn there. They return from abroad. Like Anupam Barve, he is teaching the several courses as freelance in
Right.
all over India.
Wow.
So that's a success. That
Yes.
not having infrastructure can be yours, become your strength of development.
Development.
You find it paradoxical,
Yes.
but you will find that the because they don't have any money to waste.
Yes.
My students, they will wait that I need some kind of a
Right.
grandeur, I need some kind of a big set without which I can function. It is possible in NSD,
Yes.
not here.
Not here.
Here we ask him to simulate your course on computer and present it.
Okay.
But in actually you make functional set
Right.
with the dados and
Ha.
the
So that's the
so
beauty.
that's the mindset we
Yeah.
create.
And I think in the international market, you have the funds, you have the resources available. You can do whatever you want.
When you pass out here, you can go, but while here you don't get
You
any
don't
money,
get, okay.
any money, but you can simulate. The kind
Yes.
of-
Right. Right.
And your again question is the to abroad, that I was fortunate that I have been invited to do the adjunct teaching job at the University of Duke University
Yes.
in 1994. Then I was at Tisch School of Drama at NYU
Ha.
as a Fulbright fellow. Then I was at University of Georgia
Right.
near Atlanta, where I did a students' production of English production of Begum Barve.
Okay.
We had about 16 shows. There you will find that gradually the academic world in I don't know about the Europe, because I don't have any kind of information on what's happening in the Europe academic world. But as far as the American academic world is concerned, you will find that every theatre department has got some course related to Indian theatre
Wow,
arts.
that's a big.
In it is usually used to be a traditional Indian theatre
Ha,
arts,
ha.
more going towards the Kathakali,
Okay.
more going towards the southern Indian folk theatre forms, etc. But hardly any modern theatre.
Okay.
But these four playwrights, they have changed it.
Oh.
Four big in the 70s.
Yes.
Nashiram, Girish Karnad, Vijay Tedulkar, Badal Sarkar, and Mohan Rakesh.
Right.
Because their plays have been translated into English,
Yes.
thanks to Shamik Banerjee and other people. And Seagull Books, they have created a kind of a project
Ha.
to publish about 26 titles of the plays translated from the various Indian languages
Into English.
For example, in Gujarati, you will find my play has been picked up by Mahendra Joshi.
Yes.
He is no more now.
Right.
Unfortunately, we lost a very imaginative director.
Director.
He did my play under the name Tathaiya and completed 200
That
shows
shows. Yes.
in
Yeah,
that time,
that time.
as far as the Mahanirvan is concerned. So that information has reached, and you will find that our plays are now available in English, published by Oxford. So those plays have been incorporated, and there is a course now available for the modern Indian theatre,
Wow.
where
That's
all these
interesting.
four playwrights and the playwrights after that.
After
For example, my generation, Mahesh Kunjwar, G.P. Deshpande, Datta Bhagat, and so on. They are now available for us. So this is a kind of a slight change.
Change.
It is an optional course, so I don't think that it's a kind of not a regular change per se, but the academic circles in the on the campus of the Pune American University, they have started taking the note of contemporary sensibilities that are happening in the sphere of Indian theatre
Wow.
after India's independence.
That's a big
Yeah,
achievement.
yeah,
At least getting
yeah.
being noticed and our
Yes,
work
yeah,
is being displayed
yeah.
there. So similarly, your plays, Begum Barve, Mahanirvan, and all, they have been translated and adapted in multiple different languages, and it's been adapted still now by the newer generations. So, what do you see as a change happening in the play that was earlier written and the adaptations which are being done now?
Frankly speaking, I don't have any say in it because once you written a play,
Yes.
that's it. Your at least the birth has been baby has come out, and you don't have any kind of a connection with that
Right.
emotionally. Only like that afterwards, what happens in of your play into other language is a kind of a blessing in disguise because I
Okay.
don't have any kind of a control over it. That doesn't mean that I'm not happy with that. I'm extremely happy, but I don't have that kind of a connection. But
Right.
you'll find that there are some ingenious ways have been going on. For example, my play Mahanirvan, play Begum Barve has been adapted into Malayalam language.
Yes.
The basic premise there, the female impersonator is from the Kathakali now,
Okay.
and the Kathakali retired actor.
Oh.
He is part of the Begambar way,
Wow.
and that the production is still going on.
Right.
This year, they are staging the production in Nandikar Festival, Calcutta. I
Okay.
am told
Okay.
it was first done in a Kaladi, the Shankaracharya at the university, by Kumara Verma. He was a very senior ex-student of National School of Drama. He's around 80 now, but he directed that.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
that kind of a trans creation which is there.
Yes.
Tathaya was the another example
Hmm.
to
Yes.
change from the and Master Fulamani.
Masterful money. Manoj Shah's.
Manoj
Yes.
Shah, he placed it in Bhangwadi.
Bangwadi.
Bhangwadi. And
Yeah.
here Balgandharva, there was the Jai Shankar
Jai
Sundar.
Shankar Sun. Yes, right. So you have also been a part of once very known and thriving theatre culture in Pune, which is an experimental theatre culture now. But that's slowly, getting fading off or it's changing. So what do you see of the new work that's happening in Pune?
See, I'm 75. I'm still in touch with the youngsters because I like them. Many people they come and interact me. Why I don't know, but I like to interact with the students. I meet them off and on, and it's my hobby to instead of keep on watching the web series on the OTT. I feel that if I invite some youngsters for a cup of coffee in a coffee shop, it gives me more inspiration
Right.
than to see something. That's one thing. And gradually things have started changing shape after 90s when India become more and more globalized. Economy started changing, the whole thing is started changing, a lot of migration started taking place, and you'll find that all cities are getting fragmented day by day.
True.
Even though the Bombay is so big, when we were small, when we were young in the school going boys, we still feel that the Mumbai is one. Here we can go to the Girgaon Chowpatty with uncle, then immediately come with the Warsaw Chowpatty with another uncle.
True.
That was just very easy to go and commute. Now it is becoming a kind of other city maybe.
Yes,
Same
true.
thing is true with the
Pune culture.
Pune culture. For example, when I joined Lalit Kala Kendra Pune University, from my place at the Senapati Bapat Bhavan, I used to drive within a 6 minutes to reach Pune University for my department. Now, in 2024, it takes minimum 35 minutes and
True.
maximum
You don't
depends
know.
upon we don't
You
know.
don't know.
And
True.
just the distance is just the 6 kilometer.
6 kilometers.
So that's why people are not commuting.
Yes, yes.
They're more happy with the virtual kind of a thing,
Right. And
getting
I think
fragmented. And another second is that the communication through print media is getting day by day redundant.
I fully agree.
Only you get at least you can touch the paper,
Paper.
you smell the ink of the paper.
Yes.
You can interact with the call the director, I'm an editor, and you can agree or disagree with him,
True, true.
etc. But this kind of a social media interaction is very,
It's
very virtual.
yes, it's
We
very
don't know
virtual.
whether it is real or near a real person is communicating with you. It is his real photo,
Or
unreal
yes,
photo.
true,
We
true.
just we just
We
don't
don't
know.
know.
We have to take it at very gut
Yes.
level. So that is very problematic for me. I don't know, but thing is that the young people are very happy with that whole thing, and they collected their groups of theater going groups,
Yeah,
and they advertise on their social media, and it's a full house.
it's full house.
For
True,
example,
true.
today, Takeshi Samwan,
Yeah.
not a single advertisement in the newspaper, which
Right.
is a shocking for me, my generation.
Yeah.
You are doing a play in Mumbai
Mumbai and
without single insertion
newspaper
of
ad.
newspaper ad,
Right.
and you find the show is almost full.
Almost full. That's the
So this
power probably.
that this
Yeah.
this cultural shock I yet to
Absorb it.
absorb yet.
I think what you said, no, the city is fragmented. So basically, I'm just sharing with you. We at Mumbai Theatre Guide, way back in 2014-15, we realized this, and then we started doing a small experiment of creating pocket theatres across the city. So that's what we felt that people will not go to theatre. Theatre has to go to people. And I think in city like Mumbai, Pune, a lot of small pocket theatres and black box theatres are opening up. I think that
Yes,
could be
yes.
a good thing for.
That thing is good for everything, but I think that it is a high time that if the free economy is going into third generation, fourth generation,
Yes.
so who has earned more in free economy? All the industrialists, they earn more. So it is their duty to spend some of the profits they are making
Right.
into to support these groups.
Cultural, yes.
Cultural.
Yeah.
None of the group is the industrialized group, or
Yes, yes.
their corporate responsibility kind of a thing is so fishy, so politically motivated. It depends upon the who is their local MLA. He dictates the terms. So
True.
nothing is reaching to the small groups. For example, there are a couple of, for example, my industrialist friend, Praj Industry, Pramod Chaudhary, he supported one of such informal groups,
Wow.
Box.
Box
The
theatre.
box was created from money which
Wow, that's
he given as a soft loan.
yes, yes. So Mumbai as a city, we are also seeing a shift in the kind of plays which are happening. Mostly comedies or thrillers. So is it because of lack of fresh ideas, or is it that the audience taste has changed?
No, I don't know, because as it is the significant theater is always in a minority,
Right.
be it in my generation or now generation. Number of plays could be increased, but the kind of quantity, quality we required, kind of insight we required, but it's a kind of a platform. So we don't you should not bother about the aesthetics of the what the youngsters are doing right now. While doing it repeatedly, or by failing it repeatedly, they will learn, and eventually out of the 10 groups, at least one group will
Will
emerge. For
yes.
example, it's happening in Mufassil area. There is a group in Nasik
Uh-huh.
which has become consistently active for last more than 7-8 years.
Oh,
They have completed four significant plays, and
okay.
they have performed in a festival right now in Pune and Mumbai.
Wow.
All goes full house. NCPA supported them very well. They have got two playwrights in their group.
Right.
One is Prajakta Deshmukh,
Yes.
and other one is Datta
Right.
Patil.
In fact, they also performed at the Kalagoda Art
The
Festival.
Patil.
Yes.
So that is very significant.
Yes.
In Kolhapur, there is another group. For example, in Kankauli, there is another group. I went to Ambazogai. Ambazogai, there is one very active group there, which has been run by a Sanskrit teacher,
Oh.
Amrut Mahajan, and he's doing it show called Gav Katha. The play based on the kind of a collage of the short stories written on their rural background
Wow.
by a young writer. So that is the new thing which
That's-
is emerging.
yes.
They are not reaching us
Right.
to the our metropolis, but in the rural area also the things are changing, and they are finding it out their own aesthetics.
That's great. So as compared to the playwrights and directors of 70s and 80s, You are able to see some good work happening in not in major cities but in different pockets of Maharashtra and maybe smaller cities where they're still been able to have touch with the
Yes, one theme consistently recurring is the migration from the rural area to
haha,
city area, the city area to bigger area,
bigger areas,
and
right?
from the bigger area to abroad, and
Right.
total disconnect.
Mhm.
That's the common theme one is getting. And the second thing is getting detachment, individual detachment
Mhm.
in the within the family, within the marital hemisphere, within the political hemisphere, and a lot of fragmentation is coming into force
Right.
everywhere,
Yes.
in real life also, in art also. So that's the one thing. And but the other positive thing is that the quality of acting is growing. You'll find one or two actors are emerging from the very smaller places because
Right.
they are now exposed to all kind of
Work.
international work
Yes.
on their OTTs, etc.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Other thing is that their visually they are making our their play are very strong
Yes.
as compared to the previous
Previous
generation.
and yes,
That's the
that's the big difference that we are seeing. True. So
okay.
just the last question. Marathi theater that was there and now probably what we see is getting more commercial, nothing wrong in it, but looking at the way plays were happening earlier and the kind of content, that's what we don't see sometimes. Do you think it will be able to regain the glory that it had?
Yes, it is already doing that, and thanks to pandemic in a way. After pandemic, people are jumping back on to theater. They're buying the tickets of 400 rupees, 500 rupees, which is quite a expensive
Yes.
entertainment, and it has remained like that from
For
Balgandharva era.
yeah.
During the Balgandharva era, also was the ticket was 7 rupees
Yes.
and 10 rupees. Until today,
It
will
is.
find is compared to multiplexes,
Yeah, yeah,
and
true.
people don't mind paying that. And after the pandemic is over, you'll find most of the commercial theaters, they're going getting good
Good
responses.
response, true.
Look at the revival of Char Chaugi,
Yes,
completed 333 shows
that's a
in a
big
span of 2 years.
2 years, true.
So that is a
That's
remarkable
that's
thing.
that's really great.
So that's a great thing,
Yeah.
and that's percolates to the experimental era.
Yes,
Once it depends if the commercial, any popular art is thriving, then
then obviously
then automatically
the
commercial,
lower, yes,
and automatically
experimental things will
parallel things
parallel will
also they
get.
work.
Yes, yes, that's
Okay,
really
so
great.
I don't think that there is an end to the theater.
Yeah, definitely it never should be.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay,
thank you very much.
thank
It
you.
was pleasure speaking to you
Yeah,
and getting to know more about your journey, your work.
my-
We at India Theatre Guide would want to meet you again very
yes,
soon
yes,
with
yes.
some new things that you are doing.
And Indian Theatre Guide is doing a remarkable work
Thank you,
right
sir.
from the beginning,
Yes.
and I am following you for last several years,
Yeah.
and hats off to you.
Thank
In
you, sir.
spite of having a limited budget, you're reaching out to the
Uh,
people. Okay.
Thank you. That's the passion that you have on screen.
Yes.
Probably we are trying to do that in the digital world for theater.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.